See if I can do that thing with the camera here. There we go. Deer Creek's over there. Hey guys, BikeBlogger here. On my way to work. A little bit wet today, a little rainy. It might rain later today, I don't know. Today I wanted to talk about a website I like a lot. It's called walkjogrun.net. I'll put a link in the description below. One of the things I spent a lot of time trying to figure out when to commute to work by bicycle is figuring out the best route. Because I take different ways to work occasionally, depending on my mood. Walkjogrun.net though is really nice because you can sort of just draw out a path that you'll take to work, and it sums up the mileage for you. And then there's an app I use. I'll leave a link in the description below for that too. Android app. It's called TrackBrowser. Squeak. And it should probably just go here. And it's across railroad tracks. And it's called TrackBrowser. So you can export the files from walkjogrun.net to .gxp or GPX or whatever it's called, and load them in that TrackBrowser app, and then you can see them when you're out in the road. I'm sure there's a lot better apps. It's an app for that, for everything. $20 miles an hour. Just doing a little bit of a U-turn here. When safe to do so. Alright. Whew. So yeah, I'll just post some links in the description below. They're very simple, and I like them for that reason. A lot of cyclists use Strava. I don't actually. Bugs. But yeah, I recommend it. I discovered it since I'm a jogger. Let's make a left here. But you can use it for anything. Doesn't have to be just jogging. All right. This guy making a left. What is he doing? Okay. Alright, let's climb up this ways. The left. One funny thing is when I was leaving for work today, before I started recording, I noticed right as I was leaving my home, it's like, I forgot my helmet. How can you forget something like that? I told myself. But yeah, kids, don't leave home without it. Wear that helmet, whether you believe it does much good or not. I'd rather have it than not have it. Make a left. As you can tell, I'm riding my bike with the fenders and the fatter tires. So it's sort of a gloomy day today. Sort of iffy about the weather. 24 miles an hour. So, yeah, you go on the walkjogrun.net website, you create an account. I know I hate creating accounts for every website I visit, but it's nice because it will save all your routes for you. And then it loads like Google Maps, and then you can just draw like waypoints basically for a route you might take to get to work and back. Like I said, I'm sure there's a lot of other programs and services out there. I think if you just use Google Maps, you can sort of just draw a route on there. But the nice thing about walkjogrun.net, so it's a mouthful, is you can just draw a route anywhere over on top of trees and stuff. You know, taking bicycle paths. Google Maps is getting better at that, at locating bicycle paths. But I find that sort of separate website a lot more simple and easy to use from a user experience, in my opinion, than trying to set something up with Google itself. So yeah, and then I use that TrackBrowser or whatever it's called. Just use the free version. You don't need to spend any money on it. Then you can load those GPX files or whatever they're called. A little bit of mud, a little bit of water. I'm in Deer Creek right now. It's Deer Creek Park. Deer Creek is actually to the right there. See if I can do that thing with the camera here. There we go. Deer Creek's over there. It's also known around here as the Rocket Park. I don't know if you can see that. When I was a kid, that playground was a little cooler, I thought. Or at least I would think that if I were still a kid, because it's called the Rocket Park, or used to be, because that slide on the playground used to be like almost like 3 stories tall, I think. Of course, it seemed bigger as a kid, but it was a huge slide. And it was built in the shape of a rocket ship. So kids around here called it the Rocket Park, even though it's actually called Deer Creek Park. Sort of on the dividing line between the cities of Webster Groves, Missouri and Maplewood, Missouri. Not sure who maintains it. It might be the city of Maplewood though. Anyway. Whew. So I went this way to work last time. You know, you sort of watching that car bounce. Fell into that storm ditch drain thing there. Got a little suspension going. All right. Just gotta be safe. All right. Well, the light's red. So normally what I do is I just wait for the light, so we'll just wait for the light. Line ourselves up here. There we go. on the thing. Okay, it's already changed. 10 seconds and then we go. My helmet's a little loose. You don't want your helmet too loose. It just happens over time, I think. I've actually fallen a couple times with this helmet, and the rule of thumb is that when you fall with a helmet, you should replace the helmet. So I need to do that. Whew. A little bit of talking about helmets. Yeah, I'd rather go through the hassle of wearing a helmet and give myself at least a 10% chance or whatever of getting less injured than not wearing a helmet. Never really understood why people are so against helmets, other than the argument that, well, if you wear a helmet, it makes it look like cycling is a dangerous activity, when in fact it isn't, which is true. So you don't wear a helmet in a car, but that's different. You got airbags in a car. Although recently I've been seeing news stories about these, what is it, a Japanese company manufactures airbags. There's been a few that have been proven to be faulty or something, so there's a recall on that. One interesting thing about car recalls is that, someone can correct me if I'm wrong, at least in the United States, the owner is told of the recall, but only if you're the original owner of the car. You bought it new or whatever. If careful here. If you're buying a used car, you won't be notified unless, I guess, you specifically contact them, reach out yourself. Let me go this way, other side of the railroad tracks. So yeah, that's sort of interesting. I didn't know that. I've actually never bought a brand new car. I don't ever intend to. I always buy used because sort of like bicycles, but definitely more so with cars. When you buy a brand new car, it depreciates very quickly. Okay, I think I know where I'm going. Let's make a left here. Almost to work now. I work in sort of a city suburb. It's on the edge of the St. Louis city, but it is in the county, so it's sort of a suburb. But since it's near the city, they have a lot of old buildings around here. They're somewhat old buildings. Old for this country. Early 1900s. Several of them. All right. Almost home. See you guys next time. Oh wait, I'm almost to work, not home.